So, last time we played, you guys were um, in the Crownsguard headquarters questioning Helmut Heydrich, the guy whose life you saved in the streets of Druvenlode. Pretty sure is the key to clearing Kassia's name and figuring out who was behind the mine sabotage. He was pretty cagey at first. He did not want to tell you who had hired him for fear of retribution from his employer, um, who had the power to turn him into the Myriad. You found out he'd gotten into some trouble with them a couple of years ago, and that's why he came to Druvenlode. But you did eventually persuade him that his boss wants him dead and is probably going to keep trying to kill him regardless. So he did eventually tell you that he has been working for Petrov Sauer. With that information, you guys decided that you were going to go try to talk to a couple more people just to see if you could get anybody else to corroborate that. Let's see. I think, oh yeah, you guys had talked to. Okay, no, you didn't. You questioned him at night, right? And then you went home. Is that what happened?
Maybe?
I think. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
believe
we
so.
questioned him first, and then we went back to
Yes,
sleep
and then you went to sleep.
off
That's right.
our
You guys were
injuries.
all fucked up while you were questioning him.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, after this questioning, you guys went back to Antoni's parents' house. You left Aurelia with Felix and Hydric, hoping they were not all murdered in the night, but trusting Aurelia and Felix to keep themselves alive in the Crownsguard headquarters for a single night, which they were able to do. Nobody tried to kill them. Adakora filled Honolora in about what happened. You fell asleep on the couch, and she thought you had not come back. So she called you on the stone and was like, "Where the fuck are you? You're not in your room." But you did kind of give her a summary of what happened. Yep. The next morning, you all went to meet up with Aurelia and everybody else at the Crownsguard headquarters to figure out what to do next. You discussed maybe trying to find Anders, maybe talking to Erland to see what was going on at the mines. Because you had kind of figured out that Hydric didn't really know anything about the plan to frame Cassia. So you figure there's probably somebody else affiliated with the guild who is working with Sauer you have not found yet. And Erland might have some idea of what's going on there. Ultimately, you decided to go and try to find the person who ran away from the attack on Hydric. That was pretty easy because Aurelia saw them last night and kept an eye on them. She located them. You figured out where they were staying. You got some directions from Hydric, and I think you guys were just like standing outside the building when we ended.
Yep.
About to go in and confront whoever the fuck this is. Guy you almost killed last night. Oh yeah, and Felix, Helmut, and Tanalor are all still back at the Crownsguard headquarters. So it's the three of you and Aurelia. It's like, I don't know, mid-morning.
What are we planning to do in there? What are we planning to say, to ask? And also, when Aurelia scried, did she see other exits? Like, is this person just like in a room or is it a room with a back door?
They're in a sort of like crummy apartment building kind of situation. Aurelia probably described it to you earlier, but it's yeah, it's basically like a boarding house in like a much less expensive neighborhood. This person was in a room. It seemed to be on the second floor. It was probably like two rooms, like a two-room apartment sort of thing. And there seemed to be only one door into that little suite of rooms. There was also a window. But she only saw like the room that they were in, so she didn't get a great idea of the layout. But yeah, it looks like they're in an apartment with a single entrance in a building that the building probably has multiple entrances. Let's say there's like a front door and a back door to this building.
Is it like, could you just walk in?
Probably? I don't know.
Like,
I
if
guess
we
it
just walked in the front door, could we go up to the room? Like, is it like an inn or is it like an apartment
I
where you
think
have
it's
to bring in somehow?
I think it's more like an apartment. They probably just have keys, actually. I don't know how medieval apartments worked, but they must have had them. Um,
Mm.
yeah, we'll say the front door is locked. The people who live there probably have keys to the front door and also keys to their own rooms. But yeah, it's not an inn. It's not like a business that sells things.
Right.
It's really just an apartment.
Okay.
So yeah, the door is locked. You could try to pick the lock. Obviously, you can't buzz people in because they don't have electricity.
Right, right.
So
I mean, they could have a magic version, but they probably not at a low scale.
no, this is not. Yeah, they're not
Maybe in the
investing in
big
any
city,
magic.
maybe in the big city they have those, but not in
Yeah,
Norfolk. Um,
maybe in a really nice apartment building.
okay, but this brings me back to the question of what are we planning to ask? What are we planning to do in there?
I don't know whose smart idea this was. Maybe all of us. I don't know. We, I feel like
Well,
we want to corner this person and be like, hey, we're gonna arrest you if you don't give us some information right away and help us on our quest. I don't know.
I don't know if we need to threaten to arrest them, says Aurelia. I think maybe, well, okay, we wanted to, the person who has a connection to Sours Anders, right? That's
Yes.
the person that, according to Heydrich, Anders talked to Sour, and Anders then hired the people to kill Heydrich. So
Right.
this guy might be able to, I don't know, tell us something about Anders or help. We can try to get him to help us convince Anders to give up the information about Sour.
I think convincing Anders is a very long shot.
Maybe.
You said this person still looks pretty fucked up from last night, or
Yeah, he was, I mean, kind of bandaged up. He was awake and obviously alive, but still injured.
might catch more flies with honey.
But yeah, I don't know if presenting ourselves as uh, agents of the law is necessarily a good idea in this situation.
Well, there's a very good chance that whoever this is knows who we are.
That's true.
That might be a good first question.
Do you know who we are?
I want to know what Anders knows at this moment.
Me too.
Whether this person went back and what he might be planning to do now about it.
Yes, we should ask that.
Right.
See if Anders was likely to have warned Sour already.
Or if he's put a hit out on all of us, which would uh, be really bad. Because we've just been walking around.
Yes. What do you two think?
Well, I think sooner or later we're going to have to track down Anders, but I suppose maybe this is our best lead at the moment. I mean, I do think they probably know who we are at this point.
I mean, at least the person in this building saw all of us last night, so.
Right.
And the dead man that we talked to, the archer, had some kind of idea of what was going on. So I bet this person does too.
If nothing else, I'm sure Anders does. And if
He must, yeah.
and if he's communicated with more assassins,
At the risk of sounding, I don't know, too cocky, I think, well, we did take on a lot of assassins last night. I don't think they're going to be quick to send their usual people after us.
I'd like to know if this person knows what he's planning to do all the same.
Yes, I think there's a chance they'll know something. Also, it's worth noting those assassins weren't out for us. They were trying to kill Hydric.
They weren't out for us at the time. I don't know that assassinating us would help Sour at this point.
I don't
But
think it would.
but if this is his last ditch effort to not lose everything, he might be desperate.
Ophelia, what do you
I'd
think?
just rather know. I'd just rather know if there's if we're also if we've also got a price on our heads at this moment.
Yes. No, me too. I would feel better for knowing.
Um, so, uh, we're going in to ask this guy where Anders is or what's happening. I feel
think
like
we
we're
should
going through
ask.
like 12 different scenarios, and I don't know which one's the one we're actually thinking about.
I think we're asking what Anders knows about the situation last night, and what he's planning to do about it. We could ask where we could find him. We
Yeah.
already have an idea about that.
Yes. We know where he hangs out.
Okay, then that sounds good. And we're just gonna be like, do you remember us? Okay, here's our questions. And then he'll answer them because we almost beat their shit in.
Presumably, all right. So if Anders knows that that Hydrick is alive, it's presumably because this person, the guy who escaped the fight, told him.
Yes.
So it would be good to know if Anders knows, and it would be
Yes.
good to know what Anders is planning to do next. If he told Sauer already.
Yes.
Okay, and then once we get the information, we just leave and go do our next step.
Bribe him into silence.
I don't think this person is much of a danger to us at this point.
Doesn't mean a bribe wouldn't help.
That's true. I don't know if how much money Aurelia has
Yeah,
on
like,
her.
are we rich suddenly?
Aurelia has
We have
50
as much
gold,
money as we
apparently.
came here with.
Yeah, okay. Aurelia has 50 gold, is what I have in her inventory. So,
There are also other ways of creating goodwill. Looking significantly at Ophelia, who can do healing magic. Actually, so can Antimony, both of you.
You and I have like very different versions of what goodwill means. Because I'm like, we promise not to beat their shit in, and that's goodwill. You're like, we heal them and make them feel better, and that's goodwill.
I think the fact that we could beat their shit in is implied, and if we offer healing or money, that will be surprising.
I guess.
Have I ever steered you wrong?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What kind of question is that? But I suppose.
Unless you have a really high intimidation, Ophelia.
My intimidation is actually +7, thank you. But no. Okay, and then you guys are gonna do most of the talking, right?
That is what I assumed, yes.
Are you willing to maybe heal him, Ophelia, if we think that will help?
Maybe with like a healing word or something. I don't know, I'm not touching some random guy.
Oh my god. Okay.
I have a feeling if we break down this person's door, they're going to be scared of us to begin with. So he might be
True.
more likely to talk if we calm them down. That's all I'm thinking. We just want to talk.
Do we know this man's name? I forget.
Nope.
He's just a
You
guy.
He's just a guy.
We heard a name because there was someone who was following Hydrick around, waiting for him to be approached by us. But that is not the person who was there actually during the attack and escaped.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we don't have this person's name.
Yeah, there were 4 guys there during the attack. 3 of them are dead. I don't think you know any of their names, actually.
No, sadly.
That wasn't
But
important.
it
We
was,
don't
it
know
was
their
not really
names
worth using a
yet.
question, a speak with dead question on. What's your name? But yeah, you got one person's name, and besides Anders, but yeah, and that person, Corey, was not at the fight. So
Yeah.
you know that this is not Corey.
We can ask.
All right, which of you can get this door open?
I have thieves' tools, I assume.
I
I think
would
I've used
hope
them before.
so.
I think I've used them before.
You must have. Although, yeah, you
Uh,
guys don't break into a
it's
lot of
been a
places.
minute. It's
Yeah.
been a minute for sure. But I've got to have them, right? Yeah, I have thieves' tools. Cool.
You do.
Unlike some of the things that I am proficient in and don't have, like disguise kit, which we found
Oh.
out earlier in this arc.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I do have thieves' tools, so I can make an attempt.
All right,
Uh,
go for it.
what do I actually add to a roll for that?
I think it's Dex plus proficiency bonus,
Okay.
so it should be pretty decent for you.
Gonna pick the dice at
I'll
random.
guide also.
Okay.
Okay, so that gives me a what?
D4.
Okay, well I rolled real bad. But we will see what it all comes out to. So Dex plus proficiency is 7. 13
With guidance?
with guidance.
Okay, that's fine. It's like this is not a this is a cheap place to live, and the lock is not super heavy duty or anything. So yeah, it's like you haven't done this in a while. You're a little rusty. It's like a little embarrassing how long it takes, but you get it open. It's fine. You're like,
This
this
is
should
the
have
story of
been
my life.
easier.
I think it's. I think I'm becoming too immune to that kind of embarrassment because it seems like that's everything I roll.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. So yeah, you get the front door lock open.
Is it just rows of doors?
Pretty
Nobody's
much.
hanging out here. Okay.
Yeah,
so
you
we're
don't
on
see anybody hanging out in the hallways. People are probably at work or doing, whatever they do during the day.
Okay. Well,
It's like
I
11 a.m. or something.
we can try to be like just quiet. Like not we don't need to sneak, but we don't want to make a racket either. I'm
Okay.
assuming. To get
Yeah.
upstairs, they're on a second floor.
That is what Aurelia thinks. Yeah. She
Okay.
probably got like a look at the outside of the door. Like she'll be able to tell which apartment it is, probably. This isn't really how Scrying works, but I don't want you guys to have to knock on every fucking door. So it's fine.
Maybe we should.
We're just canvassing.
Gotta
If
think of a
you
ruse
really
to get
want to,
everybody
you
to come
can.
out. No.
Oh man. Yeah, I think she like saw out the window that it was the second floor, so I don't know. Okay, Aurelia will lead you guys upstairs. And then she sort of looks at all the doors and is like, okay, I think it's this one. It is
And
also locked.
also
So
locked. Okay. Well, try that one too.
All right, go
I guess.
ahead.
Unless we want, I mean, if this fails, we can break it down.
You sure can.
Assuming this person isn't going to dive out the window, which who knows?
They might.
They might.
I shall
Okay.
repeat the guiding.
Thank you.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. Well, you don't have to be rude about it. 22.
Oh yeah, easy. This lock is actually a little better than the one downstairs. You think maybe whoever lived in this apartment like replaced the lock with a better one, but you get it. You're like, "Oh, I remember how this works. This is easy." Um yeah, so you pop the lock open, and you just kind of head inside.
I guess. I guess we're just going in.
All right.
Are they in the other room, or are they immediately there when we walk into their house?
Oh, I think they're probably in the first room.
So we see them.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. What like order are you guys in? I wanna.
Well, I unlocked the door, so I'm probably first.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just in case, like, they heard this and they've got a crossbow out or something, maybe I don't just walk right in. That's a good, that's a good
Okay.
question. Um,
Yeah. You want to just like open the door and peer in a little bit?
yes.
Okay. Are you trying to be very quiet, like not attract attention, or?
Yes. Um, but I think did Aurelia cast shield during the last fight, or am I imagining that?
She did.
Okay, she might want to do that again.
She's got it. Okay.
I was just thinking, like
Yeah,
maybe
it's
you
a
want to cast
reaction, so
shield.
she doesn't have. She can do it like as the
Oh,
person attacks, because
okay.
that's how shield works. But yeah, she's kind of like, all right, do you want me to go in first? She's sort of like, I
Just
think I have the most hit points of any of you because she's
she's
such a high level.
higher level, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Aurelia's like, all right,
She's like,
I'll
listen,
go in
I'm
first.
strong.
Okay, so yeah, Aurelia steps up to the door and you can kind of get behind her.
Yeah, but
Um,
I do want to open it like slowly, like maybe you didn't lock it, maybe it just blew
okay.
open mysteriously.
Oh, okay, make a stealth check then for that.
We'll see. Ooh, nat 20
All right.
for a total of 27.
Yeah, you open the door. It is completely silent. Everyone else is sort of off to the side. And you just open it a crack, and look in. Nobody in the room seems to notice you doing this. So you see a little sliver of the room. Um, there is someone who looks very much like the person that you fought last night. They are, like I think last night they probably had like a hood on or something. It was kind of hard to see their face.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see now wearing like parts of the leather armor that they had on last night. Yeah, that's true. You see a male half orc. He's pretty big. Um, Probably in his late 20s. Very bandaged up. And he is sitting on a bed. He's sitting up. He's sitting on the side of the bed. And it's kind of just like most of the living space is this one big room. So there's a bed to the side, and then there's a table in the middle of the room, and some other furniture around. And then you also see there's a second person in here, standing at the table. It looks like she's taking like some groceries out of a bag, just like bread and cheese and stuff. You
Oh,
see a a human woman. She's very young. She's probably like 18 or 19, with freckles and curly brown hair, and she's carrying a dagger, but she looks unscathed. She doesn't appear to have been in any fights. Um,
is
and
she
they're sort of
carrying a dagger in her hand or it's on her person?
it's like on her belt. Yeah, it looks like she maybe just went and bought this food and is now putting it out on
Okay.
the table. And she and the man are talking to each other in low voices.
What are they saying?
Just like they're like talking about the groceries basically. She's like,
Oh,
"Okay, I got this. I got this. Did I forget anything?" He's like, "No, this is fine."
cool.
Just a normal conversation.
Yeah, it's and she's like, "How are you doing?" He's like, "Yeah, better than last night. Thanks for helping me out." Um
And we're not planning to hurt this person.
yeah, but they do not seem to have noticed you. You were very quiet.
Hmm. Um,
Oh wait, let me check something real quick. Okay, yeah, the half orc does have a light crossbow sitting next to him on the bed. He's not holding it, but it's like right there. It's loaded.
okay. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Is Aurelia also looking, or is it just me who's seeing any of this?
It's just you. Nobody else is. Everyone else is sort of backed up so that they couldn't possibly be seen through the crack in the door.
Got it. Um, I will
Because
try to.
otherwise, oh, sorry.
Uh, just gonna try to like signal back to the people behind me that there are two people there. Just like
Okay.
if there's a possibility. If I just do two on my hand, does anybody get that? Is anybody like,
I think
yes, there are two
so.
people?
Yeah.
Probably.
Edacora just throwing up a peace sign.
Yes.
Yeah. Aurelia looks a little taken aback, but she nods. There definitely, when she saw this room, there was only one person in it, so she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay," but yeah, she seems to get the message.
I'm crossbow having and dagger stabbing. Like maybe that implies that they're killing each other, which is not true. They're just armed.
Okay.
I'm not I can't communicate this silently. I don't have telepathy. um, I know.
Yep, neither does Aurelia. So.
Well, maybe Ophelia should have enlisted to be a spy and not me. um, yeah, I guess Aurelia should still go in first because they are in reach of weapons and um, I don't know how much they're gonna let us talk.
Okay, yeah, Aurelia like
Until we
points to herself and is kind of like, "Do you want me to go in?"
I shrug helpfully.
All right. Yeah, you guys are so helpful.
I mean, the alternative is we just walk in and we're like, "Hey, if if Aurelia's going in first because she can put up a shield as a reaction, I think that's as good an idea as any.
Oh yeah, no, it's
We're not
she's
planning
fine
to
with that.
attack. We're just planning to be defensive, de-escalate
Yeah.
whatever they try to.
Yeah.
If they freak out, de-escalate it. We
And
just want to
Aurelia
talk.
does not seem overly concerned that like these, that you guys won't be able to take these people. Like
Yeah.
that's
Like,
not really what she's worried about after last night.
she didn't pass out last night.
Exactly. That's why she's not worried.
Oh, wait. I also have shield. That's good to know. I
Oh,
forget that I
nice.
have that.
That's
But
that's can
A good
come into
spell, I imagine.
it sure is.
Okay.
Uh,
But I will go in after her. I'm not going
all
to
right.
wait a super long time. I just.
Mhm.
Okay, so Aurelia, Adakora, and then the two of you just kind of in the back.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. I mean, I think I'm gonna let Aurelia and Adakora go in first and then like wait a sec to see what happens, just because I think that if all four of us go in at once, it might be kind of intimidating.
That's true. That'll be more intimidating. Okay. All right, so you back away from the door, Adakora, to let Aurelia go in first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry, I'm looking up one thing. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry, I just read the message. All right, so you step away from the door, which is still cracked open a tiny bit. Nobody seems to have noticed. Aurelia steps in front of you, pushes open the door, and walks inside. The two people notice her immediately, obviously.
She's enormous.
She's huge. The woman drops whatever she's holding on the table, and sort of scrambles for her dagger. She doesn't seem to have any other weapons on her right now. The man on the bed pulls up the light crossbow and aims it at Aurelia.
We don't want to fight. We just want to talk. Do you recognize us?
Yes, says the man.
We just want to talk.
You didn't say anything about that.
It's true. You said we wanted to threaten to wreck his shit,
Yeah.
not that you wanted to kill this person. Ophelia has discovered her lust for blood.
He did knock Helmet out a bunch of times too, yeah. Um yeah, the man he's still sitting down, but he has the crossbow aimed at the two of you and looks back and forth between you. All right. What do you want?
Some information about the job you're on.
I'm not on it anymore.
What happened after you got away last night?
He's kind of looking behind you into the hallway, trying to see if there are more people there.
I guess we'll cautiously come in.
Yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, creep up as well.
Are all your friends here?
Most of them.
Hi.
I'm Adakora. This is Aurelia. You might know that already. This is Antimony. Is Ophelia coming in too?
Just introducing yourselves. I love
I'm
it.
just introducing that. I'm just introducing us. Like, this is normal. Is Ophelia coming in? No.
She's maybe just hanging out at the door.
If you're
So,
not gonna
like,
come inside,
visible?
close the damn door, he says.
Okay, we'll come inside then.
All right. It's like, I don't want to talk about this with the door open. He looks very tired. Yeah, he's clearly stable, but yeah, I know, that would be really funny. He's clearly stable, but he's also clearly like still in some pain. And he's like kind of bandaged up. A little bit clumsily, but it's working. The younger woman looks terrified, but has not said anything yet. All right. Well, if you came here to finish the job, there's not really much I can do about it.
We genuinely didn't. Ophelia here is a healer, and if you're willing to tell us what you know, we can take care of some of those injuries we gave you last night.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
He looks skeptical.
Yeah, well. We did fuck up all his shit. But, okay, 17?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, uh he puts down the crossbow just next to him on the bed. He sort of gestures at the girl, and she puts her dagger away. Um, and she just kind of sits down at the table. All right, says. Tell me something first. Everyone. Did anybody else make it out of there alive?
How many people did we? Was it 4 people, including this guy?
It was 4 people, including this guy, plus also Hydric, who is not with you.
Right.
So
Okay.
he's like, did Hydric die?
Oh, that's a good.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't actually. Hydric might have been down when he ran. I don't actually remember the answer to that, but
I think he was. I think he and Ophelia were both down.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's better if he does believe that Hydrick is dead. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I was gonna say it's just us, but I wasn't even thinking about Hydrick. But yeah, that's what I'll say. It's just us.
Adakora just in character misunderstands what he does.
Do I get to make a deception check if I don't think I'm lying?
Well,
Oh man.
then you wouldn't have to make a check, I suppose, if you didn't think you were lying. But if you want to roll a deception check, you can.
Is he? Are you rolling insight on me?
Probably. I think I'm gonna roll insight anyway. Yeah. His wisdom is not good though. So
Well,
let's
tell me
see.
how high he rolls, and then maybe I'll make it. No, just. I'll make one. I'll make one. It'll be a lie.
All right. Yeah.
Adakura didn't forget about Hydrick. Just me. Oh, that's another nat 20.
Damn.
Jesus.
All right. Yeah, he rolled a
plus-
9. So
Yeah, plus a bunch. So yeah, Hydrick's super dead. It's just us. We're the only ones who made it out of here.
All right. The girl is also gonna roll. She also does not succeed. Okay, yeah, the man on the bed sort of breathes a sigh of relief. And also he also looks kind of bummed. Like
Well,
it's a little bit of relief, a little bit of like sadness.
is the relief about we did our hit?
Probably
At least
you can
we got our
assume
hit.
that. Yeah, he's like, well, everyone else I was with is dead, but we did kill the guy, so that's all right. All right, what do you want to know?
After you ran last night, what did you do?
I went back to the man who hired me.
Anders,
Yes.
what did you tell him?
I told him that our target had friends with him that we weren't expecting, and that I didn't know how it had gone down. That I thought the rest of my group was dead and maybe some of their people, but that I wasn't sure if we'd accomplished it or not, the job. And then I came back here to lick my wounds.
Do you know what Anders will do now? Did he say?
I assume report to the person who hired him, but I don't know what exactly he did. I haven't heard anything from him since last night, which is worrying, but
Why is that worrying?
well, not for anything you need to be worried about, just personally worrying.
Does that seem true?
Make an insight check. And the rest of you can make insight checks if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Remember.
God. Okay,
Like, I'm-
18.
Okay,
That's
he's
pretty
like,
good for me.
I'm waiting to find out what he's gonna do to me. Okay, what did you guys all roll?
21.
What is my insight? 10.
18.
Wow. All right. Ophelia and Adacora, he seems to be telling the truth. Antimony, you're not really sure.
I choose not to trust anything these people say.
Yeah, you're like, he's a little shifty. I can't really tell if he's lying or not.
You guys are
Um,
shifty, and my mom's freedom is on the line here. No.
okay. Sorry, what was I saying? He's telling the truth. Uh, he's basically, waiting to find out if anything bad is going to happen to him for failing.
Do you have any experience with how Anders handles jobs that go south?
Not personally, but it depends on how much money is at stake usually, and this was apparently a pretty lucrative one. I think I'll probably survive, but beyond that, who knows?
How much do you know about who went to Anders and why?
I mean, Anders didn't tell us who it was, but we had our suspicions.
Which were?
Uh, Rich man, mine owner. Uh, his name's Petrov Sauer.
Antimony is gonna be like, yeah, that guy sucks.
He kind of looks at you like, okay.
We all look unimpressed and unsurprised.
Yeah, he's like, you don't seem very surprised.
Well, we're not.
Well, I should have guessed there was something more going on behind all this. Why would a man who owns 3 mines want us to kill a small-time smuggler and send 4 people to do it?
Mm.
Is there anything else you wanted to know?
Looking at the things I wrote down. Hold on a sec. My writing's very small. Uh, so, out of character between the all of us. Um, do we want to dig more about what Anders might have told Sauer? Doesn't seem like this guy has any updates, but we could to try. Could try. What does he normally tell clients? Who knows? If he gets wind of any, we could ask him if he gets wind of any new jobs that include us. Um, let us know, because that would suck. And we also threw around the idea of asking if he could tell us anything about Anders, whether Anders could maybe be convinced to give up his client, that kind of thing.
I think that might be a worthwhile um, avenue of questioning.
Okay.
Because it doesn't
Yeah.
seem like he knows much about what's going on with Petrov, but
Yeah.
he definitely knows Anders on like a personal level, so or like on a professional level. But
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely seems to be the case.
Is there anything more you can tell us about Anders? How likely he'd be to give up his client?
Oh, well, that would depend on a lot of things. I mean, Anders is, well, he's not exactly honest, but he does have to maintain a certain level of reliability. I think well, would depend on if the client paid him or not, if they were in any kind of legal trouble, if you had any useful information that could tempt him into it. Maybe if he thought this person was more of a liability than an asset, he could be persuaded to give him up. But I don't really know what all of you have or what you're even doing this for. So can't really say.
What would he consider useful?
As far as information, something he could use against somebody important, maybe.
Hmm. Well, thank you. We might be able to do something with that. And we'll give Ophelia a little look.
God. Well, how do you feel about romance novels?
Would you like to know the secret identity of?
Do you want any advanced reader's copies?
Oh my god, that would be so funny.
Ophelia will, I guess, use a healing word on. Did we get a name?
still
We
don't
did
really know
not.
his
You
name.
didn't
Not this
ask.
person.
We didn't ask. I figured this person probably wouldn't want to reveal names. But
That's 7.
7 points.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. What components does healing word take? Is it like verbal, somatic?
yeah, it's called healing word. I think you have to say something.
Just verbal.
Just verbal? Okay. So yeah, you say something and magic sort of starts to happen, and he and the girl both look at you a little bit scared for a second, and then he sort of shudders, and then like relaxes a little bit and looks like he is in less pain. he starts unwrapping one of the bandages and looking at it. It's like, wow. All right. The girl sits down next to him and helps him like take some of the bandages off. She looks at all of you. She hasn't said anything up to this point, but she kind of. Hang on just a sec. Juliana wants to tell me something. Okay, the girl looks at all of you, and you kind of she looks uninjured, but like she doesn't look great. Like there's bags under her eyes. It kind of looks like she was maybe crying. She looks like she hasn't slept much. Um, and she says, "What? Why was helping Hydrix so important to you?"
Why don't you tell us your names first? I was gonna do that anyway, but you did drop it in the chat, so.
They sort of look at each other, the two of them, and the man sighs and says, "You can call me Victor."
With a K?
Yes, with a K.
Like in Arcane.
Yes, like he's Zemnian.
Slightly less frail Victor, I suppose.
No, yeah, this is a
Victor
big
Arcane.
Victor. This is a big
Sure.
strapping dude.
Yeah. Yeah, when he took the bandages off, I was going to ask if he was stacked or not, but that seemed a little beneath me.
How muscular is this guy? He's hot in like a dangerous kind of way. Like this guy has clearly led a life of crime and probably some killing. Like he has some scars. Maybe one of his tusks is like kind of broken off. But yeah, he's pretty muscly. Yeah, he does have that vibe.
Nice.
um, yeah, the girl sort of mutters, Corey.
All right. All assassins accounted for.
There we go. Hydric was involved in framing someone close to us. We wanted to question him.
Well, I'm, I guess, sorry you didn't get the chance. Maybe Anders will be able to tell you something.
If he's willing to.
Adakora spends so much time lying about it.
I didn't roll it at 20 for nothing.
With so much effort.
Please, please.
Okay, fine.
Look, if you do decide to
Ophelia
go
looks briefly puzzled.
and then it's like, oh, that's right, we're lying about that.
Sorry, he says. Victor says a thing.
Oh yeah, Victor's like, if you do decide to go talk to Anders, and well, you seem capable enough. You could probably handle it. Maybe tell him that we succeeded. Might help us out.
Long term, it won't. I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Hydric fakes his death. He goes to a different city. He lives a new life, and everyone's happy, except Petrov.
I mean, to be fair, I do think Hydric might have to leave town after this.
He might.
He might, yeah. It's just a matter of like, can we get him to be a witness in getting Petrov arrested, and also let Anders think that everything went fine and the assassin succeeded. Who
Right.
knows?
I don't know if those two can co-exist.
I don't know. Seems like news travels fast in this town.
Yeah, it kind of does.
What I will say is, I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say. Lost it.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right.
No, mine went blank. It's fine.
It happens. It happens. Corey says, look, I know you're either not from around here or you're not from this part of town. If nobody else made it out, how did you find Anders' name?
I can talk to the dead. Occasionally.
Her eyes get real big. So you didn't question them and then kill them?
No. We killed them and then questioned them.
That's
Yeah.
better.
It's kind of the other way around.
I know that wasn't very tactful.
It was not.
No.
She does not look like, or she looks like very sort of freaked out by this. Like she's not sure which of those things is worse, actually.
Yeah. Saying it out loud, it didn't sound better. It's just like, well, that's how it happened.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Like, to be fair, we did not attack first.
No, it's
To be really clear.
She knows that. She's just upset.
No, yeah. I don't really blame her. Not
Yeah,
surprising.
Victor puts his hand on her shoulder. It's doesn't say anything, but it's just kind of does that. If Karen Page was like a teenager who is maybe not the most hardened of criminals. Was there? I didn't watch The Punisher.
Me neither.
Nah.
I did watch at least one season of one of those shows because I remember thinking Karen Page was very hot. But that's about what I remember. Yes, Deborah Pretty. My thoughts exactly.
As far as we're concerned, we're going to pretend we were never here. So if you would do the same.
I think we can do that. He looks at Corey, she nods.
I hope that seems truthful, but if they're lying, I don't know what else to do, so.
You can roll to see if you think they're lying.
Sure, but if they are, I'm gonna be like,
Right,
oh well. Oh well. I'll roll, sure. Why not? 9.
You can't really tell.
Yeah.
Ooh, Aurelia rolled pretty high. Yeah, right. Is anybody else rolling insight?
I can.
Oh.
Why else would I have this proficiency if not to roll 22?
Sorry, Juliana's coughing. Yeah, Ophelia, you get the impression that he's like mostly telling the truth. He's probably going to keep quiet about this as long as it's like in his interest to do so. If it becomes, more if he thinks he can like save his ass by telling someone, he will. But
Yeah.
not even that. Like if his, boss shows up and is like, "Hey, what the fuck is going on?" If that
Right.
Yeah.
that kind of situation, he might tell somebody, but he's not gonna like go and tell right away.
Yeah.
He's like, let's be clear, I'll kind of keep this on the down low, but not like under torture or something.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
If
That's
I think
really
Anders
all
will
you can
be,
expect.
yeah. If I think Anders will be less mad at me if I tell him that I've talked to you guys, then I'm gonna tell him. But
That's all we can expect from this
yeah,
guy. Let's be clear.
I don't know how much better you're gonna get from him.
Yeah.
But what I would like to say, yeah, okay, I'll say that. Ophelia has the ability to message you. If you could keep your ear open. Well, you do. If you hear how Anders is planning to follow up on this, and you can tell her when she asks, we'd appreciate that too. He has no reason to do this. I'm just going to put it out there.
They both
Because
look very
Ophelia,
confused.
because Ophelia can speak into people's minds.
Yeah, they're both like, wait, you said message, which makes it sound like a normal thing, but then you were like, we'll
No.
just hear this. And they're both like,
Mhm. I mean, by message, I mean. Yeah.
oh, all right, says Victor. I'll see if I hear anything. I don't
In
think Anders
in
is
Victor's
going to
mind, I'm
come.
just gonna say like, yeah, maybe.
Oh God. Okay. He's like visibly flinches and looks at you and looks freaked out.
Ophelia looks satisfied.
Yes.
Gotta give her that in.
I doubt he's going to be coming to me with whatever the follow-up job is, if there's a follow-up job, but I'm sure I'll hear something eventually. That's how it goes around here. I guess. Good luck.
You too.
Do you know where to find Anders?
I feel like we've heard about where he likes to hang out, right?
You did,
We-
yeah. You
we
got the name of a
definitely
bar that he hangs out in.
did.
But if there's like any other places, you know.
Did I write down did we hear the name of the bar?
You did. It's a very stupid name. Because I was on fucking tavern names generator.
Yes.
The
I
bar
remember
is
this now. The
the
12
bar is called the
hamsters.
12 Hamsters. Yes.
I found it in my notes. So I'll say, you know about the 12 hamsters. can't quite
Sorry.
keep
Why
a
did I
straight
name
face
it that?
as I say it.
Oh God. Okay.
No.
Yep. He's like, yep. That's it.
I hope that brings a little bit of levity to your day every time you have to say it.
He kind of looks at Corey and she is like, all right, I was only involved in part of this. I was supposed to follow you. Or no, she was supposed to follow Hydrick. I was supposed to
Yes.
follow Hydrick. And if any of you got near him, I was supposed to tell Victor and Theo and the others, send them a message and say that it was time for them to go after Hydrick. I don't know anything about who you are. He didn't tell me that. And there was nothing about killing any of you, so.
It's good to know. So,
No.
again, if you do hear anything about us needing to be followed and or killed, that would be even more useful to know.
She looks kind of like, how would I even find you, even if I wanted to help you? Like, she just kind of has this look on her face, like,
that's the beauty of sending is she doesn't have to know where
that's
to
true,
find us.
yeah. But like, they're not going to be able to communicate with you, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking maybe at the end of the day or tomorrow, like when when Anders has had some time to plan.
Yeah.
Or to hear from Sour, we might be able to still get information from them. That was my thinking.
Yeah.
Just, putting that out there.
But yeah, Victor's like, yeah, I think I'm sure Sour knows that. Well, knows as much as I knew. I left, so not everything. What did you do with Hydric? With his body?
This is actually truthful. If we say we took him to the if we took him to the Crown's Guard, it's like that's true. I don't know if that's
Yeah, I mean it's not a lie.
it's not a lie. I'm just trying to decide if that's like good or bad to them. I mean, here's the thing. If we're like we also toured the Crown's Guard where the other assassin bodies are. And I assume they're the ones who took care of them. So hmm. um yeah, I just tell them the truth. Took his body to the Crown's Guard.
Okay. Did you take all of them there?
We couldn't carry all of them.
I suppose not. Do you know what happened to them?
We told the guard what had happened. They really took it from there.
All right.
Would you like us to find out?
Sure. Yes, if you don't, if it's not too much trouble. Victor looks like confused that you guys are offering this, but he's like, sure.
I
Um,
I don't want to speak for them, but
yeah.
this is this is what Adakora is doing. I don't know if the other people are offering to find out.
Yeah, Corey's like crying very quietly now.
This poor child is in way over her head.
Yeah, Victor's like puts his arm around her and is like, it's okay. It's she was close with one of them. You said you could talk to the dead? He looks at Ophelia.
Under certain conditions.
Did you get anything out of Hydric's body?
What were some things that we learned? I don't.
Well, we learned a lot from Hydric's body.
Yeah, 'cause
he
he
was
was
just alive at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if confessions of the dead are admissible in a court of law.
I mean, I don't think this guy knows either.
Yeah, so just like useful, but not what we were hoping for in terms of clearing our friend's name.
All right. Listen for a voice in my head, I guess.
Oh, you'll know it when you hear it.
All right. Be careful when you talk to Anders. He's probably going to be sitting at a table by himself, but a lot of the guys in that bar work for him.
Understood. Thank you. I
Fine.
guess I will open the door and
Yeah.
quietly exit at this point. I don't know if there's anything else to say.
All right. Yeah, unless the rest of Aurelia doesn't have anything else to ask, I don't think. But what about the other two?
I think we got everything.
Yeah, I'm fairly satisfied with the information that we got from these people.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you leave. Victor's like awkwardly patting Corey on the back.
Oh no.
Yeah, we'll just let him cry. Give him a
as
minute.
you walk out of there.
Give him a long minute. 'Cause I don't want to.
Yeah, Aurelia comes out last and closes the door behind you guys. And it's like, all right, well, that was useful, I think.
I want to leave the apartment building.
Okay, yeah.
Stop outside the door.
All right, you guys get out of there.
Are we any closer to deciding if we're talking to Anders?
I suppose we probably have to.
Do we?
I mean, what are our other options? Confront Petrov directly?
Well, our other options are wait to see if Torkel can send someone if they're on their way.
Oh, that's
and
true.
if Heydrich's confession is good enough, we might not need Anders. Or if Heydrich's confession is admissible, then Anders, we might have more information to convince Anders that Petrov is a liability. We might be in a stronger position to confront him later. But he'll also have time to communicate with Sauer if we do that. And I don't know what Sauer's going to do.
It really hadn't occurred to me, says Aurelia, that they wouldn't know whether Heydrich was dead or not. I think this was illuminating. I was pretty convinced that Sauer already knew that Heydrich was to be plotting something, but maybe
I
he
assume
doesn't
we're
know.
talking very quietly while we walk, because I don't want anybody to overhear this.
Yeah, you guys are, yeah.
Well, it's definitely in Heydrich's best interest to be dead for now.
Yeah.
I agree. Do you think it's worth trying to convince this Anders person that Heydrich is really dead?
If we could, it would placate Petrov. It wouldn't necessarily help us get Anders on board.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Anders.
I guess what's our argument? Is our argument that we want Anders to turn on Petrov, because then our strongest position is that Heydrich is actually alive.
Yeah, you're right.
If our objective is to keep Petrov from escalating his attempts until we can get someone here to accept the confession, then we should try to convince Anders that he's dead. But we have to be very good at it.
Well, I can do that. I think. Let me just refresh my mind here.
What can you do?
what
I
can you
make
do?
someone seem very dead
Oh, fuck, that's right.
with feign death.
What?
I touch a willing creature, put it
That's a
into a
cleric
cataleptic
spell.
state that is indistinguishable from death.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
And then we can just
So-
resurrect him.
Forgot about that.
So your thinking is we bring Anders to the Crown's Guard and show him a dead body?
Well, I don't think that's the way, but like, if he needs proof, we can give it to him somehow.
Maybe.
It's going to be complicated to lie to Anders because we'll need a reason to confront him that's not our actual reason.
I mean, his people almost killing us is a reason, I suppose.
That's true.
It's true. But, I mean, he could easily say, we're the ones who got involved in the fight.
We did interfere in his assassination attempt.
Uh, I
But
mean-
the assassination attempt happened because of us anyway. Like, it wouldn't have happened
That
if we
is-
didn't talk to him.
I mean, our reason would be that we wanted to know what Hydric knew, and now he's dead. So if anybody knows why he was a target, it would be Anders.
That's true.
I don't think he's likely to give up Petrov if he thinks Hydric is dead.
That's why we just
But
revive
if
him,
we
and then Hydric's gonna be like, oh yeah, it's this guy, and then we stare at Anders like, yeah. Check it out. We know. Goodbye. I mean, tell us your secrets.
Wait, what?
What?
Uh,
I don't think we should bring Hydric around Anders, dead or not.
that's fair. He would die, maybe,
He
again.
he probably would. I mean, the only reason I would agree to go see Anders is because I think we have a good chance of fighting our way out of whatever that is. But I don't know if Hydric would make it.
Well, there's another point. If we talk to Anders, convince him Hydric is dead, does he just kill us?
I don't see why he would. He wasn't paid to kill us. I mean, if
Unless he's communicated with Sour and Sour
That's-
has stepped up his bets, I
that's
guess.
true. I can't see Sour trying to get all four of us killed unless he didn't have any other option. I mean, especially you two. She points at Antimony and Adakora.
I don't want to make him think there's no other option.
I just mean, if the two of you died, it would be that
I
would
know.
cause trouble in this town. I don't.
It
think
would
you
definitely not.
Reflect well.
Yeah,
They would definitely not make it seem like Kazuya did it.
right. Exactly.
Which is why I don't want him to think he's in danger of being exposed.
What if we tried to convince Sour directly that Hydric was dead? What if we contrive some way to get him to come to the Crown's Guard headquarters, and you cast that spell on him to make him look dead?
What would be our reason?
I don't know, but I think it would be easier than getting Anders to the Crown's Guard headquarters.
Probably.
We could ask the Watchmaster to call him there.
We could. I mean, our reason could be that Aurelia, that you're Aurelia, that Ophelia spoke with Dead, and we knew that he was associated with Petrov. That's a flimsy reason, and Petrov would be right to say it's a flimsy reason, but again, if our objective is just to make him think Heydrich is for sure dead,
But do we want Petrov to suspect that we know anything about him?
ideally not. But I don't see a way of this random man is dead that you have no connection with. Can you come look at the body?
That's true. What do you think, Ophelia and Timony?
Well, I mean, have we heard? Do you think we should wait for news from Torkel about if they're sending anyone from the Soul?
Maybe, but also I think the longer we wait, the easier it is for what's High Helmet's status to be revealed to outside parties.
Hmm.
I think we should go back. Are we on our way to the crowd? Is that the way we're walking? I kind of assumed it was.
Yeah, I think so.
We wouldn't want
who
to go.
knows that he's alive?
Or maybe we would. Us.
Everyone who's in the Crown's Guard headquarters now. Felix.
It is possible that somebody noticed us walking back with him, although Felix did cast prestidigitation, so it didn't look like we were all dying. So we weren't attracting maybe that much information.
And he was unconscious when we were carrying him.
That's true.
I think it's reasonable to assume that one of the Crown's Guard might tell someone who might spread the word into the underworld, even if it's not, a direct, even if they don't have a direct contact in the Crown's Guard, which they probably do.
Might. Yeah.
It's probably too many people to think it'll stay quiet for very long.
It might not have to be long. I wish I knew how fast we could get an expositor here.
What was I have to remember how long it took you guys to get here.
I'm sure I have it written down. Hold on. It was several days ago, but
yeah. Well, and you guys did a weird, you left in the afternoon and then spent the night on the road.
Yeah.
And then traveled the next day. I think it was maybe a day and a half. It wasn't a long time.
We traveled over 2 days, but it was about half a day each way.
Okay.
And we were going with a cart.
Yep. Yeah, you guys were kind of taking it easy.
Yeah. So if an expositor were racing here, could get here pretty fast. But we don't know because we haven't heard back from Torkel yet.
Yeah, and I don't want to message him because what if I message him and he's like, no, Ophelia, I'm in the middle of a busy meeting, and then it's like we lose it because we interrupted him,
Okay, you guys have probably gotten back to the Crownsguard place at this point.
And we still want to talk to Erland today. Maybe.
Oh, that's
Um,
true.
hmm.
I'm also kind of alarmed by the implication that somebody is working with Petrov, like in the mining guild.
Yes, that's what we want to find out from Erland. If anybody has been pushing for policy change, breaking rules, since Kazia's not there to keep them in line. I mean, that might be true. Probably not. Kazuya suspected that whoever was put in her replacement would be the person to keep an eye on. And I trust her instincts.
So we just see who it is, and when it's Erland, we're like, that's right, you son of a bitch.
um
Are you guys gonna go back into the place, the Crownsguard HQ?
Yeah, maybe we should ask
Yeah.
Helmut what his opinion
Yeah.
is.
I mean, it is kind of his life that we're putting on the line here.
It is a lot easier if they accept doing it, because I don't think they could make a saving throw. I think they just accept it or they don't.
Okay, we can ask him.
Which
can ask him his thoughts.
the monk thing?
The
Feign dead.
Oh, the death. Okay.
Yeah, it has to be a willing creature, so.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh yeah, maybe ask him if he's willing to fake his own death.
I mean, I'm sure he'd be like, yeah, I mean, I don't want to really die.
Yeah, but he might not trust you not to just kill him. I don't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't know anything about how clerics work.
God, I feel like this is kind of a tangent, but I feel like in D&D, people have arguments about magic that's like the arguments people have about teleportation. Like, is it killing you and making a copy of you?
Oh my god. Yes, they definitely do. Okay, as you walk into the Crownsguard headquarters and head back to the little room where your compatriots are hanging out, Ophelia, you hear a voice in your head. It is very familiar. It's your BFF, Torkel.
Our
Yeah.
good friend Torkel.
Your best buddy.
Hell yeah.
He says, Ophelia's BFF. Ophelia, hope everything is going well. Received approval to send an expositor. They will leave within the hour. Should arrive sometime tomorrow afternoon. Would you like to reply?
Yes.
Can you repeat it for my benefit? Because I was looking at the NPC channel.
It was okay. What exactly did I say?
I heard should arrive tomorrow afternoon. I was like, oh, that's important.
Yeah, he basically was like, hey, hope you're okay. Got approval to send an expositor. We're gonna leave soon. We'll arrive tomorrow afternoon. He didn't say who it was. But yeah, you can assume someone who is authorized to do the thing.
Yeah, someone
Ophelia
barred in
will
the state of the
say
Dynvalian Empire.
Yeah,
yes.
they're a registered notary or whatever.
Law monk, law monk.
God, a monk who is also a lawyer.
Ophelia will say, cool. Wish we had a more concrete plan, but I'm sure we'll have one by the time they get here.
Cool.
Thanks,
I'm sure
I
Torkel is very
guess.
relieved to hear that.
Yeah, Torko's like, oh, they're doing it again. Can't these kids just go on a vacation?
Apparently not. That's not what main characters get to do.
No.
We had one very nice day in Nicodranas.
You did. You had like a good week in Visayas Teal where nothing much was happening, though.
That's true.
I mean, there was like family drama a little bit, but that was like Adakora's cousin leaving to fight in the war.
Yeah.
And Adakora feeling bad about lying to his mom.
Well, yeah.
Is Adakora's cousin okay? Do we know anything that's happened to him since?
You have not checked in on him, I don't think, so you don't know.
No, he hasn't. Well, at some point I should write a letter home and see if they've heard from him. But it hasn't been that long. We got the news about the wedding when we got back.
Yeah, it's been
It
like
hasn't been very long. I mean, it
Yeah.
was a trip back from Visayas Teal. There just hasn't been a lot of time to write letters, okay?
Yeah, well, yeah, and you know he like was gonna go from Visayas Teal to like Blade Garden probably, which is pretty far. So he's probably
I don't
like
have a
doing
fancy
training. Like I
spell.
don't think he's.
I don't have a fancy spell that allows you to contact people instantly.
No.
Just become a cleric.
Maybe I will.
Ayun, help me call my cousin.
The only reason anyone would ever become a cleric.
Yeah. Oh, I will relay this to the party.
Oh, good. Yeah, they're all staring at you as you like stand still for a moment and then speak to no one.
And then say out loud that we don't have much of a plan. Yeah.
Right, and they're like, "Oh, she's talking to Torgal."
They say the expositor person will arrive tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, well, that answers that question.
That's good news.
It's as if he or a higher power can hear us speak.
Maybe it's Ayun.
Maybe.
The dungeon master is Ayun. I feel like she would be a fun dungeon master.
Yeah.
Who's still here? Felix and
Felix and Hydric have been sort of stashed away in like a little side room, as their sort of status as like kind of secret prisoners right now, who are also helping with an investigation. And Hannelore, you left with them. So yeah, if you guys want, you can like go to that room where you know they are.
sure.
And everybody who's here like kind of knows at least who Aurelia is, because she's been
Yeah.
here investigating this for a while. So they like let her come and go. And since you guys are with her, it's fine. But yeah, you guys go back into the room. It's Hannelore not here. It's just Felix and Hydric.
Okay. Okay.
Felix is like cleaning his fingernails.
They look bored. It's been uneventful.
Yeah, they look real bored. Helmet
They
Hydric
should.
he's playing solitaire with like the most beat up looking deck of cards you've ever seen.
You should teach them how to play poker with rocks. The game you can play anywhere.
Yes. Although I don't know where they would get the rocks.
This is at your classic dungeon. There are no rocks.
It's like an empty meeting room. Yeah. You guys are all dead. How long does it last?
1 hour. So
Okay.
we could do like 5 people and then have a 10-minute window where everybody's dead.
Yeah. Oh my god. That would be a very dramatic way to fuck with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Felix yawns like I'm yawning right now. And says, well, did you learn anything interesting?
I mean, sort of. We, I guess, I mean, mostly it was kind of stuff that we already guessed or knew, but
He shrugs. Well, do you have anyone else to talk to?
well, I mean, I guess we could go poke around at the mining guild. Or we could talk to Anders, of course.
Hydric kind of shudders at that. But oh my god.
What I lack in formal legal qualification, I make up for in karate moves.
This is literally the Cobalt song.
Yeah.
If you are tired of hiring lawyers who know the law but don't know karate, hire the karate lawyer.
This is what we have to look forward to.
Yep. This is what's gonna happen.
Here's the really interesting news. They don't know if you're alive or dead, Hydric.
He looks surprised for a second. I guess that makes sense. What did you tell them? Who did you talk to?
Victor. And then Corey, was that her name?
Yeah. Victor. That son of a bitch.
I lean in, excited to hear the tea.
I mean, he looks at you like, okay, we have different lines of work, but I've seen him around. He's good at his job, usually. I guess I should be a little impressed that Sour wants me dead that badly.
At the moment, they think that you're dead, and we talked a little bit to your corpse, but didn't get many answers. So,
Well, that's better than I expected. He's had a weird couple of days. I mean, so have you all, but
well, it's certainly in your interests to remain dead for the moment.
that's true. But there's a whole lot of Crownsguard who know I'm not.
In your experience of this town, how long would you expect before the news spreads?
Hmm, maybe a day, maybe two. I don't think, as far as I know, they're not particularly corrupt. He sort of like gestures at the rest of the building. But they're not the brightest necessarily. You know, they go to a bar, they get drunk, they talk. It's not that hard to get information out of a Crownsguard.
Maybe. How much do we really stand to gain by making Petrov think he's dead? For sure, for real. This is to Aurelia. I just say that to Aurelia, like,
That's me.
yeah. I mean, to the whole group, but you know, mostly Aurelia.
You say it to Hydrix specifically.
Yeah, Hydric's like, I don't fucking know. um, Aurelia's like, I don't. I mean, maybe it buys us a little time. I know the Crownsguard have been instructed to keep Felix and Hydric's presence here a secret. So they're probably not going to tell anybody on purpose, but yeah, the most likely explanation for it getting out would probably be somebody getting drunk after work and telling an attractive person in a bar what's going on. It might give us time to wait for the Cobalt Soul person without Petrov suspecting that we know anything.
Might.
But then we like still need a reason to get him to come here and show.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have a spell that can make you seem dead, very dead, so we were like thinking of showing you to Petrov as a dead person, but like, why?
Hydric also looks freaked out at that. He's like, oh.
How many times can you use this spell today, Ophelia?
Well, it's a ritual spell, so I could use it many times.
So we could like test it out?
Oh, here's an idea. I have disguise self. What if I pretended to be somebody else and then you used it on me?
Does does feign death make you unconscious being
Oh.
a
It's
subject?
I would imagine it does.
I believe it makes you blind and deaf.
But not unconscious.
I'm looking for it. They don't have this in alphabetical order, which aha. Target appears dead, blinded and incapacitated. Speed drops to 0. Resistance to all damage except psychic. If it's diseased or poisoned when I cast the spell, the disease and poison has no effect. So just blinded and incapacitated. And can't
Okay,
move.
so you could be disguised and
So you can
under feign death at the same time.
and you can still hear what's going on. That's interesting,
Yeah, I didn't think that would be a
right?
thing,
Did
but
it
that would be
just say
cool.
that is cool? Wait, okay, let me.
Like, what
What
if
is
Petrov, like, leans into Helmet and is like, I'm glad you're dead, you son of a bitch. Tomorrow I'll put my plan into action, and everybody here will rue the day they crossed.
Okay, yeah, because incapacitated just means you can't take actions or reactions.
Right.
So you
And
can't do anything, you can't move, and you can't see.
yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not unconscious, so
Yeah, so
disguise
you would.
self doesn't require concentration. So I could just
Oh, then
put it
hell
on
yeah.
and I'm someone else for an hour.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Um,
Hydric looks relieved. It's like, oh, okay, that sounds better.
Adakora just kind of wants to know what it's like. like, could you test it? Do we want to test it? You've never done this before.
Wow, everybody wants to be dead. Which, like,
everybody
mood?
wants to be dead. Everybody wants to be a corpse. Um, okay, so the way I see it, either we find some excuse to get Petrov here, because I think that's, if we can think of one, it's probably better than going to Anders about it, or well, maybe both. Maybe this isn't an or, maybe this is an and. After we've got an expositor here, and it doesn't matter as much if Petrov thinks that Hydric is dead, we can go to Anders and see if we could convince him to corroborate based on the liability Petrov now presents.
Yeah. I mean, from what we've heard of Anders, it does sound like he would turn state's evidence if Petrov was already in in legal trouble.
Seems like an opportunist.
That's true. Petrov could easily incriminate him if he was arrested.
So the question is, do we want to do both?
I don't know if you've made that clear to him yet.
Here's the thing. When we looked it up, I don't think the expositor actually has to punch them. Didn't we look this up? Like, you don't have to beat the person up.
You don't. It doesn't cause any damage. You still like hit them, I think, but it's kind of.
I think what we were looking up was, do they still have to make a save if they're punched?
Oh,
And
yeah,
that
but
was yes.
they do have to make a save. However, okay, yeah, it's like the fucking it's like the shit that Ty Lee does in Avatar. Like you just
Right.
hit someone in the right spot to make them tell the truth. So it's not like they don't get like the shit beaten out of them or anything, and it doesn't do any damage, like mechanically. So basically, you just get hit in like a pressure point that makes you tell the truth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna imagine it kind of like weird magical acupuncture or something.
Yeah, it's something like that. But yeah, I don't think you've like described the process to Helmet or anything.
Well, he'll find
That's
out,
okay.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
He doesn't have another choice. uh, yeah. So if we can think of a reason to get Petrov here, I like the idea of doing both. Um, because I don't. The expositor will be here soon, and that's good. But I don't want Petrov in suspense to make more decisions. Well, maybe we do want him to make more decisions.
That's true. If we keep an eye on him and he does something very extreme or stupid in an attempt to get himself out of this, maybe he overplays.
Yeah.
Maybe we should find out who's replacing Kazuya sooner rather than later. If that's the case,
Mm.
because they're probably working together.
Yeah, maybe that should be our next step then.
Okay. Okay, so table trying to get Petrov here for now.
I suppose it shouldn't be that hard to get Petrov here. We could just, you know, pretend he's being asked to come to the, you know, the Crown's Guard headquarters for like an interview about the investigation.
I agree. I think we
Well,
could. I mean, the Watchmaster knows most of this.
here's the thing. That would be easy. Getting him here and surprise, here's a dead body. I mean, how do we play that in a way that seems natural?
Hmm. That's the question. I guess he could just be sitting out on like a stretcher looking dead, and we could just walk Petrov past him and not say anything.
See
I
what
guess.
Petrov's reaction is.
We could read his mind at the time, see what he's thinking about when he sees it.
I mean, I imagine. Well, I imagine the Crown's Guard don't typically keep murdered bodies out in the open where people walking in for questioning will see them.
Probably not. Hmm.
And he's been dead, quote unquote, long enough that it would be weird if we walked in with a body.
That's true.
I could be preparing him for funeral rites. I think clerics do that.
They do. That's a thing.
I have a
Yeah,
whole
it's like I
spell
don't
for
really
it.
pay attention to the religious aspect of my job, but I assume that's something we do.
I mean, you don't do a lot of it in your work, but
Yeah.
If I did, I don't think I would be in the job for very long. Considering Ophelia's a little
yeah,
tactless, shall we say.
yeah, you're
Bedside manner can be learned.
Torko's like, we're gonna work on that later. Right now, just focus on your magic.
Mm-hmm.
Aurelia says, I think it might be worth seeing what Petrov does next.
Without asking him here, you mean?
Yes.
I agree.
I don't know. It's a risk, obviously. Um,
Yeah.
but I think if he does do something that ends up backfiring or makes it easier for us to catch him.
Well, right now our advantage is that he doesn't know we know.
Exactly.
Uh, so if he did, for instance, send someone after us or make another play to find Hydric, uh, we've already got the leg up because we are waiting and can communicate fairly quickly. The more assassins he hires, the more he digs himself in.
Right.
We just need to keep everyone alive until tomorrow afternoon.
That's the key, is keeping everybody alive.
How hard could it be?
I think we'll be all right. I think Felix and Hydric will be all right as long as they stay here. Because I don't think he could pay anybody in this town enough to break into the Crownsguard headquarters.
I guess that's true. Uh, unless cop crime was very, very common here.
Maybe if they were in jail, I'm sure that people have staged jailbreaks before, but they're just like sitting in this office building that's full of guards.
Oh boy.
I can't imagine him trying to go after Cassia directly. That seems.
That doesn't seem like his style, no.
No, that would be very, very obvious. And since she's not supposed to leave home.
Yeah, maybe it is our best bet. Just keep this all on the down low for now. And if there's maybe any delay with the expositor, then we see about buying some more time.
Maybe we talk to the mine foreman in the meantime?
Yeah.
Figure out who it is that we're supposed to be suspicious of next.
Are we gonna leave Felix and Hydric in the room? are we still in there talking with like over them?
I assume
Talking
you
about them
are.
in front of them. Let's leave the room.
Okay. Felix is like really fucking bored, but I don't think he wants to come with you. So it's like, yeah, I'd rather stay here. It's all the same to you.
I try to think if I have anything to keep him entertained, unless he wants to play poker with rocks.
He wants his fucking spell book back, but I don't think
course he does.
I don't think he's gonna get that.
I bet he'd like that fucking phosphorescent stuff I stole from him too. His moss, I think.
Right. Yeah, you stole his spell components.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's not gonna get him.
It's like, man, that was expensive moss. Where'd my moss go?
Can I use my little magical tinkering feature to just like enchant something with a soothing sound of like waves and white noise
Oh my god.
to calm
Yes.
these poor men?
Please do. That's a great idea. They're both a little puzzled at first, but they're like, this is nice.
Okay. um,
Yeah,
before
Hydra.
we, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, Hydrix still looks like nervous as fuck. Like he's clearly like, I don't know what's gonna happen to me after this. But yeah, Felix is sort of like resigned at this point. Like he's like, yeah, well, whatever happens, happens.
He resigned himself pretty fast.
He really did, yeah.
um, before we leave, I want to speak to whoever we spoke to about the bodies before, which may have been the Watchmaster or may have been whoever was in charge at the time.
I think it was whoever was in charge at the time. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
whoever was in charge of like the middle of the night shift.
Yeah.
So they're probably not here right now because it's like noon.
Okay. Then I will ask to see who would know. Who's been following up on that?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think geez, now I have to decide what do they do with random corpses that they find in the street? There's got to be like a place that they go, and it's probably not this building.
I mean, there has to be a morgue.
Right, there's a city. I'm trying to think where's the Druvenlode morgue. It's not in the Crownsguard headquarters. It's probably like attached to one of the temples, maybe. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I feel like
That
there
seems
was
like a
like the Druvenlode Undertaker, right?
yeah.
Okay.
It's
So if I ask
probably
around, will they be like, yeah, the bodies are with the Undertaker, like is normal for every single town, you fucking idiot.
probably yeah. They'll be like, yeah, they were dead. We took them to the place where you take bodies of unidentified people to see if they're claimed by relatives.
Okay.
Which is probably I feel like because I mean, okay, there's not really doctors. There's like clerics, and then there's maybe some people with non-magical healing abilities. So yeah, I don't know. Is it
Well,
a
there's
temple?
a temple. I guess it would make sense for it to be a temple because you've got
Okay.
doctors and priests. Those are the people who deal with dead bodies.
Right, exactly. Okay, yeah, I'm
And
just
both
gonna
of them
say
work at temples.
yeah, it's like adjacent to the Temple of Moradin, which is the biggest temple in town. Yeah, the morgue is attached to that temple. It's like its own separate building, obviously, because if you're like going to church, you don't want to see a ton of dead bodies.
Right.
But there's like a door connecting them to a part of the temple.
If you three don't mind talking to Erland alone, I'd like to check that out, and then I want to see if Hannelore went back to the house and if she needs any help getting ready, because um, I invited her to a wedding and then sort of ditched her all week. So I at least want to make sure that she's got everything she needs for getting home.
Okay.
Yeah, that is kind of true.
Yeah, you definitely did do that.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Aurelia's fine with you doing whatever.
I don't think Erland requires someone with high charisma to get information out of him, so I think he will
No.
probably
Yeah.
be fine for all of you.
Honestly, if anything, I think he's probably more familiar with me than with
Oh
you.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, Erland is like a family friend, basically. Like he was kind of he's a little bit older than Cassia, and he was one of her like mentors when she was younger. Um, he taught her a lot about like the actual practical work of mining as opposed to just the administrative end of things.
Mhm.
And yeah, there's still like he comes over to your house for dinner and stuff. He was at the wedding. So yeah, you know him fairly well. Okay. Let's see.
I would also like to run to the bathroom, so I'll be right
Okay,
back.
yeah, go do that. I'm gonna get some water. We haven't said anything. We're just sitting here. Okay, so probably not going to go too much longer because it's getting late and I have not been feeling amazing lately. However, can go for a little while longer if you guys would like.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever.
What I want to do personally might take a while,
Okay.
but I'm also down to hear about Adventures with Erland or just do the morgue part, whatever.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, the morgue part probably wouldn't take too long. I think.
And I never leave.
It's the morgue murderer. Just kills people in the morgue and leaves them there.
It's the perfect crime.
God, that would be such a weird serial killer. Oh, yep. You're like, yeah, I don't know. I didn't see this person get brought in, but someone must have brought him here. I don't know. Amazing. Okay. Okay, sorry. I'm going to the right spot in my notes. Right. Okay, who wants to go first? I think we can do Erland, and then I don't think it'll take too long to talk to Erland because we're not getting a ton of info from him. It's
Okay.
like stuff he'll know. Like he's gonna know who's currently running the mines. So
Yeah, we can go, and Antimony may talk to
all
him.
right. Oh, I can't wait to make Ophelia talk so
No.
much.
Someday we'll do Ophelia's personal quest.
Someday it'll happen. I have ideas. Anyway, all right. So you guys, Antimony, that Erland is probably at the mine right now. Just, working. It's the middle of the day. But yeah, you have been to that place a bunch of times. You
Yep.
definitely got lost in this mine once as a child. When your mom brought you there and you wandered off. And everybody had to go look for you. But
Yep.
yeah, you've spent time here. So you take Aurelia and Ophelia back to the mine. I think there's usually a couple of Crownsguard out here. And I think maybe still slightly higher security on this mine because it was, attacked like 4 days ago. I
Yeah.
have no idea how long anything has happened. But the mine did like everything has been repaired by now and cleaned up, and it's like gone. I think you posted this one time before. I think you may have posted this very same image for the same reason. It's because of the salamanders. Um, yeah, it's like very recently been put back into production. So yeah, Erland is here. If you tell the guards that you want to talk to him, they'll let you in.
Yeah. I
And
kind of
there's
assume that the Crownsguard are kind of familiar with me at this point.
they are, yeah. They also kind of know who you are. And Aurelia could also talk her way past them. That's true too. I forgot she was with you guys for a second.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, she's kind of taking a back seat to this because you know this guy. So, but yeah, you go into the mine. There's I don't remember how I described it last time, but there's sort of like a big, like large hollowed out cave type area at the front where there's like this sort of office building or whatever, and there's stuff being brought up and sorted. Anything, a lot of things that, don't involve directly like digging out whatever they're mining happens in this kind of big open area near the entrance. And it's pretty easy to find Erland. He's like just talking to somebody off in one corner. And I think most of the people working here probably recognize you and maybe Ophelia as well, just because you guys ran in to help with the
Yeah.
fire elementals. So yeah, you're getting a lot of like looks as you walk by. A couple of people wave at you and Timmy, like people that you actually know.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, they don't stop you or anything. They just you get a lot of stares and some waves as you approach Erland.
Everyone's like, "Oh damn, are there more fire elementals?"
I hope not. Yeah, he as you approach, he like turns and sees you, and says something to the other person and starts walking over to you guys.
Yeah, I'll kind of give him a wave.
He waves back. Antimony, what are you doing here?
Um, well, I
Is
mean, it's
everything all right?
everything's. I mean, he knows what's going on, right? So
Yeah, he knows everything.
yeah, I mean, as good as can be expected, you know.
Okay, yeah, he not. He's like looks a little. He looks a little nervous, like he was like maybe something went horribly wrong. But yeah, he nods when you say that.
I mean, I just kind of came by to check on the mine, how everything's going.
Well, we're back in business. This is the first full day.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like everything's kind of back in order, which is good.
Yep, we haven't had any problems so far. Honestly, there were a couple of things that needed to be replaced anyway, so we got that done.
Hmm.
Did you want to go talk in the office?
um, yeah, maybe that would be a good idea.
All right. And he kind of clocks Aurelia and is like, "This is about the investigation."
Yeah.
um, yeah. So he leads you to the little like foreman's office, which just has like schedules and lists of things and how much has been processed and how much has been dug up, like just assorted paperwork
Mhm.
everywhere. But yeah, he closes the door and says, "All right, I have a feeling there's something more specific you wanted to talk about."
Well, um, I mean, we're still sort of trying to figure out who's behind all this.
Have you had any luck?
Um, I mean, it's slow going, but we might have some leads. Has there any but has anything strange gone on here since the attack?
Well, not yet. But it's really this is the first day. We're keeping a close eye on things, of course, but
Hmm. Who do they have running everything now?
Um, well, they gave all of Cassia's usual jobs temporarily to the guild, the head of the guild.
Hmm.
Suppose they figured they couldn't trust anyone else with it, given the circumstances.
Hmm. Okay, I'm deciding how much I want to tell Erland about our vendetta against Petrov Sour.
You did. She was at the wedding.
Oh yeah.
She is an elf. Her name is Gitta Zimmerman. And you know, this position is one that sort of like cycles out. Like they have elections of like among the senior members. So she hasn't been the head of the guild forever. She's like the current one. It's probably on like a 5-year term or something. But yeah, you did meet her at the wedding. She seemed pretty normal at it. God.
Petrov is trying to form a monopoly.
Oh my God. But yeah, Cassia, I think, was the administrator of all of Petrov's mines. So now this other woman has charge of them. You also remember, I think, when Cassia gave you her like notes for her successor, there was a letter in there to Erland that you guys opened.
Yes.
Read, and that did mention Petrov.
Right. So he actually kind of knows that we suspect Petrov.
Yes, very possibly.
Okay. I hate to do this to a family friend, but I'm gonna make an insight check on Erland because I just want to see if he seems like
Oh God, what would Antimony even cast that would help in this situation?
Cast gun.
Oh no! Tell me the truth.
Yeah, I just want to kind of get a sense of like that's me, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to get a sense of like if he is sympathetic to us in this sense. Like is he kind of on Cassia's side on this, you know?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, let's see. What is my insight? It's not bad. Okay, 15.
Okay. Yeah, he seems very sincere. Um, he's extremely curious about whatever you figured out, but he doesn't really want to like push you.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know if I should know this. Like, I don't really want to get super involved in this, but he definitely seems sincere in his like concern about Cassia and about wanting to figure out who did this. And he also seems genuinely like how do I phrase this? He seems very genuinely curious about what you know. Like he doesn't seem to have any suspicions. which is a little odd considering the contents of the letter.
Hmm.
Like, it
Maybe
doesn't seem like
it's
he has a hunch and he's trying to confirm it. It's like he really doesn't know.
oh, that's weird. Maybe somebody intercepted our letter. Hmm. Now I'm alarmed. Um, yeah, I'm probably gonna ask if he got the letter actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you get my mom's letter?
I I haven't gotten a letter from her recently, no. Why?
Oh. Um, when she sent notes to her successor, she had a letter for you as well. I think talking about some of her suspicions. Could somebody have intercepted it, do you think?
His eyebrows go up. It's like, I definitely didn't receive that. Who who did you hand it off to?
Who did we hand it off to?
I think it was just like the front desk girl at the guild. Like,
Yeah. I think yeah, I think just the receptionist.
yeah. Yeah, I that's what you were supposed to do. Like, it was not a super secure document. There was just like, these are my notes, and there's a sealed letter in here for the foreman. Um, he says, well, I imagine whoever you gave it directly to guild leader Zimmerman, but I don't know that for sure.
Whew. Okay. Well, I suppose I'll bring you up to speed then. Um, we think we've been talking to. Well, it's kind of complicated. There were assassins hired and a lot of shady characters, but the the long and short of it is that it seems like Petrov Sauer might be behind this.
Assassins? Yeah, he looks super alarmed. Are
I feel
you all right? Is
Antimony does this all the time.
she does. She's like, "Oh yeah, we almost died." And her mom's like, "Excuse me?" Um, did you say assassins? Is everyone all right? Where's your brother?
Oh,
Is
he's
your
at the
family all
morgue.
right?
No,
He's at the morgue.
he's not dead though.
He's just at the morgue hanging out, you know.
Um, he's just looking into well, the assassins weren't really after us. They were after somebody who had information about I guess about Petrov hiring somebody to take to do all this. We've been talking to a wizard who was hired by this other guy who was hired by someone else to I don't know, cause some chaos in the mine. But I think there's somebody in the guild who's working with Petrov on this.
That's well, that's a lot of information. Um,
Yeah, sorry to kind of dump it all on you at once.
I mean, Yeah. I've never known Petrov Sauer to be dishonest, but well, he can be a little unpleasant. I guess I wouldn't be surprised. Not too surprised. He certainly has the money to do something like that.
Do you know if he's trying to, I don't know, take the mine in some kind of new direction that maybe my mom wasn't happy with?
Well, not that not that I know of. That was you remember that was mentioned in the letter that she basically told Erland that in the letter um that uh what's his name? Sauer was trying to get Cassia to like cut corners. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Erland does not seem to know this yet. Or at least yeah, he's like I not that she told me, but
Darn, my mom is so reticent. If only she were gossiping more with her coworkers.
She doesn't like drama enough.
She needs to be more like Taito.
God. It's true. So you think Petrov framed Cassia for this sabotage?
That seems to be the case. At least that's what um the the criminals that we've interrogated say.
You've been very busy, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah, we've gotten around a little.
Well, this bit about the letter is worrying. There's no reason why it shouldn't have made it to me. I did receive some of the notes from Zimmerman.
Hmm. I'm gonna turn to Aurelia and mention the locate objects thing. You've been able to locate objects before, right? Would you be able
Yes.
to locate the letter?
Did she? Okay, I truly can't remember. Was she with you guys when you opened it? She may not have been,
Um,
now that I think of it.
actually, yeah, I think that might have I feel like it was the day after, like the morning after the wedding,
Yeah, it was like you guys were leaving
and we
the
were
house.
going to meet
Probably,
her.
I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah, because Cassia gave you the packet of stuff and was like, drop this off.
Yeah, so actually she's never seen it.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that.
Okay, never mind. We can do it tomorrow morning. We can
Yeah,
have Ophelia prepare locate objects.
not without having seen it. It's a little too vague, says Aurelia. Sorry,
Well, that's
that didn't
okay.
occur to me.
There's always tomorrow. Hmm.
Well, says Erland, maybe I should come over to your family's house after work and just see what exactly your mother wanted to write me.
That might be a good idea, just to kind of get you up to speed. We be careful though. I don't know if we're being, you know, monitored or anything. So,
Do you think you might be?
well, we know that they certainly know of us. I don't think we're necessarily in danger, but I can't guarantee it.
All right. Be careful.
So it maybe would be a good idea not to let anyone know about it, just to be safe.
Yes, that does sound that does sound like the smart thing to do at the moment. And it's not as if I haven't been visiting. It won't be suspicious if I go to your house.
That's true. I mean, he's he is a
Yeah,
family friend.
he was there like last night, I think. Like Oh yeah, how is he a bad liar? We'll find out. um, this is all very worrying. Nothing has happened yet, nothing strange. I mean, we've only been back at work for, well, half a day. Nobody from the guild has suggested anything against regulations to me, but there's plenty of time for that. I'll keep a close eye on things. In the meantime, be careful, all right? I know you've gotten very capable away at school and in the big city. You dealt with those fire creatures pretty handily, but watch out.
Oh, don't worry, Erland. I'm the protagonist of this game. God won't
Yeah,
let me
but
die.
I mean, she might.
Yeah.
She won't try to kill you on purpose, but she'll let you die.
Yeah. Well, at this point, maybe my party won't let me die. Is more the the opposite word. We're starting to get to that, you know, that level where
Mhm.
we can pay people for resurrection spells.
That's true. Yeah, I think you've hit that point. Don't worry, if I die, my friend will bring me back. All right. I'll he looks kind of shaken by all of this. He's still processing all this information. Um, I'll stop by tonight and speak to your mother.
Yeah, I think that might be a good idea.
And I'll let you know if anything strange happens here in the next few days.
Right. Um, hopefully we'll have things sorted out in the next couple days.
I hope so too. All right, I think I had better get back.
Yeah, I mean, probably wouldn't look good to keep you from your work too long.
Not for too long, no. Um, all right, just be careful. I'll see you later.
Yep.
He kind of just opens the office door and lets you guys out.
I'm nervous now. I'm worried that I've just signed this man's death warrant.
He waves to you guys and goes back to whatever he was doing before.
Erland, you have to live. I won't be able to live with the guilt if I get you assassinated.
Oh God.
No, it's not. He's a friend of our family. If he can be like injured but not killed, maybe.
Yes, you guys head out, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you gonna go after this? We're probably not gonna play it out just because I'm
Um,
gonna switch back to Adacor a little and then we're gonna stop, but
yeah. I don't know. Where are we going?
We didn't set a
you didn't really.
meeting place.
We didn't set a meeting place exactly. I am kind of worried at this point, um, about leaving Erland totally unsupervised as he walks to our house later. So I think I'm gonna do something about that, but we'll leave it for
Okay.
for next week.
That's not gonna be for another few hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe we should just hang out because I mean, Atticor is doing like Hannah Laura shit, so like
that is true.
Yeah.
presumably he's going to be at the house. So I mean, when Erland goes, we can just conveniently be there to go with.
We can just conveniently walk slightly behind him
Yeah.
It's like very obviously follow him.
and just be there in case somebody tries to ambush him. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll probably just loiter around and talk for now.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, we can probably think of other stuff later.
Yeah, Aurelia might be like, I'm gonna go back to the Crown's Guard place or no, yeah, that's a good okay, yeah, she's gonna be like, all right, I should get in touch with my boss, actually.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea, actually.
She's due a report on some of this. So I think I will go back to my room at the inn if that's all right with you.
Yeah, yeah, by all means. We'll let you know if anything uh unusual happens.
Do you want me to meet you anywhere later? Are we just waiting for the Cobalt Soul representative to get here before we do anything else?
Hmm.
Maybe I'll just like message you because I don't think. I don't know.
Yes, message me if anything anything like emergency happens, and I'll message you if I need anything.
Okay.
But just I guess if I don't see you before the Cobalt Soul person arrives, get in touch with me then, all right?
Yes.
I'll probably be at the inn or at the Crown's Guard headquarters.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so she heads off. She said she was going to get in touch with her boss. She also, um, sh- I think you remember that she scried today already, and she can only do it once a day. She only has one fifth level slot. She scried to find Victor. Okay, so yeah, you guys just like hang out for a little while. At Akora, you are going to the morgue.
Yep. Going to
What
the
are
morgue.
you doing at the morgue?
I'm going to ask if I can see the bodies that were recovered last night, this morning. I don't know how fast the Crown's Guard worked.
Yeah, one of the people who works in the temple will take you to like the unidentified bodies section.
Um, do I recognize them?
Yeah, you see, they're probably the only people in here, because I don't know, Druvenlode doesn't have a ton of murders, because it's not that big of a city. Most of the crime that goes on here is like smuggling and gambling and shit like that. So there's the occasional murder, but it's not like the murder capital of the empire or whatever. Um, but yeah, there's you see the three people from the fight. There's the man with the Katha's crowns symbol, which I think you left on his body, right? You left that with him.
Yes, we did.
Okay. And then you see the other two who had. There was the younger half elf man that you spoke to, and then the third guy who was also an archer. He's a human man who you did not talk to. They're all still there. The woman who's with you, she's probably kind of supervising. She's just like someone who works in the temple, like an acolyte of Moradin or whatever. She says, "This one, we know that he's a member of the Katha's Crowns. They've been notified that he's here. They'll probably send someone to identify him. But I don't know anything about the other two."
So none of the clerics have spoken to them. They don't know what their names are.
No, not yet. We usually uh, we wait a little while to see if anyone comes looking for them before speaking to them. And you notice too that the bodies are like not really worse than they were last night. And I don't know if you know about this spell, but there's a cleric spell that will like keep a body from decomposing for like 10 days or something. I think
Mhm.
gentle repose. So yeah, they may have had some kind of magic cast on them so that they won't like rot.
Mhm.
But she says, yeah, we if nobody claims them after a few days, one of the clerics will, one of the senior clerics will find out who they are. But do you know them?
Not really.
not very long, but I hope someone comes for them. We
um,
don't have fingerprinting, but we do have speak with the head.
you can
Who killed
ask
you?
a murder victim who killed them. Amazing.
I mean,
Um,
I'm not going to ask this, but since the Crown's Guard came in, they presumably know that these people were like what, why they got dead. It's because they were assassins.
I
Maybe
mean,
the Crown's Guard didn't say any of that. I don't
the
know.
Crown's Guard, no, I don't think they like tell the clerics that
Okay. Yeah,
necessarily,
maybe not.
especially if it's like a crime scene, like they're
Right.
not that this is a crime that's being investigated because they know what happened because you guys got out alive. So,
Right. Yeah.
but yeah, I
Well, I'm
don't
not
think they
going to
like,
announce. Well, they tried to kill me. That's how I know them.
yeah, yeah, I killed these guys. They tried to kill me first though, so
I
there's
personally did
there.
not kill them. I didn't get a single hit.
That's right.
And so
God, that's right.
my conscience is clear.
God, yeah, and these guys are like messed up too. Like I don't remember how they died, but it was probably pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
I would have to check the recording to figure out how they each died specifically, but
I think at least one of them fell off a building.
yeah, I think that was the one you talked to, the half elf. Maybe
I
was
don't
the one
think
who.
that's what. No, that wasn't
Oh
what
no,
killed.
he was.
We kicked someone off. I did push someone off a building after they were already a body.
Yes, you did. They died on the roof.
Someone else got pushed off the building by one of Antimity's spells, but survived it.
Yeah, survived the fall. Yeah.
Yeah, died
Yeah.
afterward, but
I
nobody
think it
died
was.
by falling. That's what I'm saying.
That's true. I think the mercenary got lightning bolted. Someone got lightning bolted to death by either Felix or Aurelia. I can't remember, but
God.
I think it was the mercenary who was like kind of burned up from magic. The other two are probably just stabbed or arrowed. I don't know. Um, there's probably like a knock on the morgue door. I don't know how this works, but there's like somebody in the lobby or whatever, and the acolyte leaves to go and talk to them.
I'm just gonna hang out for a minute, thinking, and then slip out without asking to be excused because there's nothing else really I need to do here. Just,
Okay, if you hang out in there for a second, probably before you leave, the acolyte doesn't come back in, but she kind of she's clearly let somebody in.
well, maybe I'll stay to see who walks in.
Yeah, there's as you go to leave, you see somebody come into the room. It's she's wearing like a cloaked hood over her head, but it is the girl you saw in the room earlier today.
Corey.
Yes.
Okay, so she figured it out. I'll see if I can catch her eye and give her a nod and then leave. I don't
Okay. Yeah, she
want to
looks
bother her.
surprised to see you. Um, and then just kind of looks away. She goes to look at the two archers. And she kind of stands by one of the bodies, the guy you talked to, the half elf. Yeah, and as you leave, she's just standing there. Okay. I think we'll probably stop there because it is late.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I didn't realize how complicated this was until you tried to explain it to Erland, and then I was like, oh my god. Like there was a wizard and he got hired by this other guy who got hired by this other guy. They did it to frame Kasia.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is too much. Oh well. You guys are getting there. You're solving my mime mystery.
We just need to keep Hydrick alive one more night.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're not doing anything to ensure that he stays alive other than leaving him where he is.
Yep.
Oh, well, Felix is there. Honestly, I think Felix is possibly more competent than all of us.
Yeah, he had like kind of pathetic vibes at first, but like you've seen him in action. He's a very powerful spellcaster.
I'm just saying, if we were to show up, I believe all the things we said about how it would be very hard for someone to break in and kill Hydrick. I believe all of that, but I just think if we showed up and he had been poisoned, we'd be like, well, we could have prevented this. We could have stayed there and made sure nobody we didn't know got in, but
Yep.
we're not going to do that. We could, but we're not
Well,
gonna.
it's in God's hands now.
Yep.
If anyone poisoned him, it'd probably be either Felix or one of the Crown's Guard, though, so.
Yeah, but there could be any number of Crowdsguard who are willing to poison him.
Exactly, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know how you guys would stop that just by being there.
We could test his food.
That's true.
Some of us have healing.
If Ophelia has lesser restoration, I suppose, yeah. But all right. Thanks for playing, guys. I had fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll